What's up, guys? This is the Mad Mike podcast. My name is Michelle Vasberry. This is my podcast. It's called Mad Mike because I'm a mad, angry person, and I have a microphone that I purchased, that it's expensive. Mark Day is my co-host.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Mark.
Hi.
I was going to try a new approach and be nice to you.
I know, it threw me for a loop.
I know, your face. Your fucking face.
I was like...
I wish you could have seen your own fucking face.
I know.
Anyways, hold on, I gotta turn this up a little bit. I turned it down too low. Okay, here we go. That much better.
Yes.
All right, I'm good. You guys, tonight we have a special guest. Well, whenever you're listening in the morning or at night, it is night here. It's actually our most late night podcast recording we've ever done.
Oh, yeah.
Stop that. It was disgusting and vile and gross and fucking insult to everyone.
What?
Everyone. Literally, like everyone. I was going to say women.
Yeah.
Then I was like, well, gay guys, I'm sure, will be offended.
Yeah, oh,
So
yeah.
that's pretty much everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Make me so mad. We have a special guest, comedian Angie Crum. Say hi, Angie.
Hi, Angie.
Yes. See, I pulled off that same joke last episode. You made fun of me.
Yeah, well, because you don't get to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you say hi, Angie, too?
No, she said,
Right.
hey, Mark's a dummy. Say hi, dummy. I said, hi, dummy.
I think it's funny that your last name is Day. I mean, that means you're totally Mormon, but your first name should be Day.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, why is Day a Mormon last name?
Very Mormon.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know anything. I've never looked into the Mormon
I
thing
would,
at all.
I would say Smith was probably number one.
Smith is the number one for every damn last name.
Yeah, that's everybody except for
Doesn't
most
matter if
black
you're
people.
Mormon.
That are
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson's
That's Jackson.
the black last name.
Wikipedia, the
black-
founder of Mormonism, Joseph Smith.
I mean,
Jackson is the
there's the
blacksmith.
whole Brigham Young thing too. So if your name's Brigham or if your name's Jared,
I wish my name was Brigham. What a cool name.
I went to high school with a guy, his name was Brigham Day.
Brigham Day.
Brigham Day. What the fuck? Who fucking names their kid Brigham Day?
Some Mormon assholes that had so many kids that they ran out of
Brigham.
names.
B-R-I-G.
Brigham.
Wait, how the fuck do you spell that?
Brigham.
That's right.
Like Bringham, basically,
Yeah,
without
Yes.
the end.
Ham.
Bring me some ham.
Bring me some ham because I'm sick of turkey.
And it was today. Bring me some ham today.
I ate
Okay.
ham today.
Angie, thank God.
Yes.
And I told her that she instantly shot up to the top of the best guest list because she brought not one, but two cold flasks of vodka, which we will now open.
Which we will now do shots.
We will now do shots
That's
because
your
Mark
flask.
makes
This is my
yes,
flask.
Mark makes me want to drink.
That's right.
Oh, look at that! Do we get this? Are we
That's
getting
why
the
you
sound in
hired
there,
me.
Brian? We're getting the
Yeah,
sound. Do we
we
know?
got- we got the sound.
You're getting
Let's try to
sound
see if I
and,
can
and
glove.
video.
Hold on,
and
we're
video.
doing it. We're pouring it. Oh yeah.
And,
You guys hear
and
that?
you're on video too.
Oh, I always forget we're on video, which I don't like that. You know what
like
I'm
it.
saying? That's a damn, Angie.
I was going to say, can you hear that? I just wanted to make
I was gonna say that is.
I'm not going to drink that in one shot, but I definitely
I mean,
wanted
all
the
right,
sound.
sister.
I definitely wanted
Clink,
the...
welcome to my podcast. Jesus Christ.
Does this say Hogarden on these shots?
Yeah, they're little.
That's what I call my vagina.
I call mine Lucy. I named after Lucille Ball. Okay. I'm a redhead. Anyways, here we go. Mark, you just sit. Can you at least talk while we're doing this? So There's not dead
Absolutely.
air, you fucking idiot.
So they're about to take their shots. She just hit some Red Bull. There you go. And what are you chasing yours with, Michelle? What is that?
It's
Is it the champagne from a can?
yeah, it's Prosecco. I'm not even gonna lie. I was gonna pretend it was something else.
She took it to a laundromat once.
It's all
Made
good.
everybody think it was a
Okay,
juice box.
I did take a can
It's
of champagne to a laundromat once, but it was an extreme situation.
I just want to retract that. It was a can
Yeah,
of champagne.
yeah,
A can.
yeah. Like Red Bull, but with champagne.
Exactly.
Or whatever else
Delicious.
comes in a can, like tomato soup or
Hey, you know
Coca-Cola.
I'd drink it. So
It was delicious. It is delicious. I do it all the time. But I don't go to laundromats all the time with the champagne. Okay. Oh, God. Anyways,
Anyway, Angie,
It's
hey.
usually tequila. Okay, it's not champagne. It's usually tequila.
I
at the
wish
laundromat.
tequila came in a can. Angie, there
Talk
was
to
real
me.
no time to do any real research on you. So we're just going to pretend that
No
you're
time.
a perfect stranger that I found on the street. And
That's cool.
okay. When did you start doing comedy?
I started almost 6 years ago. In June, it will be 6 years, and the fun began. The torturous fun began back then. I love it. I love it.
Why did you start doing stand-up?
You said, why did I start doing stand-up?
why?
You know what? When I was a teenager, I didn't have very many good thoughts, but one I did have. I realized I wanted to be a stand-up comedian, but I wanted to wait till I was 30 to get some real life under my belt, you know?
Right.
So when I turned
Totally get it.
30, I started doing comedy, and it just kind of... And on top of that, it's like, I have had the craziest freaking life that you could ever think. I mean, honestly, the stuff that you hear me talk about, you can't make it up. I've had the weirdest shit happen to me.
Give me 3 examples.
Give you 3 examples. Okay, something that I've been thinking about just recently. I had a friend of mine. I was in her wedding, so I went up to her honeymoon suite with her right after the ceremony to help her change out of her wedding dress, and she tried to have sex with me in the honeymoon suite.
Makes sense.
Another time, I let a guy go down on me, and his hair came off in my hands.
I love it. Wait, stop. I have to know more. Because I used to be a giant whore. And my boyfriend, okay, listen, shut up.
Used
He
to
said it to me the
be.
other day. I said, I've been in a committed relationship for years that I take very fucking seriously, okay? And he happens to be the engineer
She
of the
doesn't
show.
pitch fastballs. I mean, they're so easy to hit.
Okay, anyway, so, but he knows, like, he knows that I used to be a whore.
No comment.
Okay, so, were you not up front? I had a disclaimer. You signed the paperwork. So, his hair came off while he was going down on you.
Yes.
Do you mean like a toupee, a wig situation, or
It
literally
was
like a fistful of hair, like it fell out of his
Like leukemia.
scalp?
No, it was okay. It was a toupee, and he was my age. Okay. He was
Okay.
my age. I was probably about, I don't know, 28 or 29 back then, but he was a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, it's like, I have done hair for like 20 years, so I was like, I can't believe I didn't notice that he had a fucking rug on.
Right.
You know, but I was
Right.
wasted when I picked up on him at a club, and basically said, yeah, you're hot, let's go fuck, you know, and... So I
Right.
took him back to my house, and so we're fooling around, whatever. And again, he was my age, so he's down there doing his thing. It's like, you know, when a guy is doing the right thing, you give him the little reassuring tug.
Oh
of,
yeah, no,
he's
I
doing the
have
right
to.
thing,
No,
you know?
not even the reassurance. It's more like a direction thing. Like I
Yeah,
pull his hair.
yeah.
Yeah.
And his fucking toupee came off in my hands, and he was like, "Oh my god!"
Was he mad at you?
No, he just freaked out that I pulled it off, and I said, "No." I go, "That's what I'm supposed to say."
Right.
Yeah.
Like what the?
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
So basically, I told him, I go, "You go back down there, you finish your job, and when I'm done, we're gonna use that rug to clean me up." How about that?
Well, you know, that's
Where have you been all my life?
That's being very resourceful.
And guess what? It
Resourceful.
worked. And that's exactly what happened.
I can't believe guys are
But
still
it's-
wearing toupees.
And well, here's the thing. Like I said, it's like I was probably like 28 or 29 when that shit happened, and he was my age. So I was
Right.
like, look, and he was a good-looking guy, nice body, nice face, good teeth. You know, I was like, I'm sorry, but just Bruce Willis it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
you could,
Bruce.
You
Yeah,
could just bick that and look
So I
good.
told him, I go,
real.
you don't need to wear this. You know, I was like, honestly, just wipe up with it and throw it in the trash.
Although some bald men, some people have like big heads, and even though they may have good facial structure,
yeah, you got a big head.
they look like, hello, I'm an alien.
well,
or
since I got
something.
to see him bald, he looked fine.
Oh, do you look fine? Okay.
See, like The Rock. The Rock is a big dude, and he looks just fine.
True.
So's Vin Diesel.
They look
Vin
like they
Diesel,
have
huh?
small penises. So.
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. What are you talking about? Yeah, but
he
he's not a
keeps
big
a little
guy.
bit on the sides. He keeps a little bit on the sides.
Okay.
No, he
I'm
doesn't.
I don't even know who Patrick Stewart
That
is.
is
That's
Captain
how
He's
Picard.
Captain Picard or
God, you're gonna make
Xavier from
everyone so
X-Men.
upset.
Xavier from.
Oh, okay, yeah, but I still
Right,
wouldn't-
sure.
I
Okay,
know
what's the
who
third
he is,
thing? The third thing, Angie.
Move.
You know,
'Cause I
mean,
I'm not talking about Star
honestly.
Trek.
You could sit here and ask me for 100 things, and I could go and go and go. So I gave you the bride thing because I was just thinking about that. I told you about the toupee in the hands. God, let me think. I mean, there's been times where I was hitting on a guy, and his friend goes, "Angie, is that you?" And I look over, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, there's somebody I had sex with, and I don't remember his name." You know, like stuff like that happens all the time. That's not
Well,
like
it's
no,
hard
yeah.
to keep track, you know.
It's hard. I mean, like I said, I lived in Vegas for 13 years, so it's like honestly, that is seriously the devil's playground.
Oh yeah.
So here's the thing about Vegas. I have a buddy that lives there, but he just loves it. I don't get mad at me.
No,
I fucking hate that town. I have never had a good time
Same
in
here.
that town. Ever. And I've been there like 4 times.
All
I've
right.
really given it a go. I've really given it a
next
go.
To all our
time you
Vegas
wanna go,
listeners.
the next time you want to go, you go with me, and you're gonna be like, "I fucking love Vegas."
Is there a library there?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
There's a whole bunch.
Can we go to one of those? But
There's
just sneak
actually
boozing?
a strip club called the Library if you want to go there. And they have books that you can read while bitches are taking their clothes off.
Really?
And most of the chicks are so gross that I usually read a book instead of getting a lap dance. So
I rather
probably much better than the Summerlin Library.
Wait, what, Mark? You just lost
I'm
everyone.
from near Las Vegas as
no,
well. Did
so
you know
Summerlin,
that?
yeah, Summerlin is basically like if you live there, Summerlin is basically. I mean, it's another little town wrapped into the metropolis of Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
It's a very nice area.
Great,
though.
Mark. I'm from Mineral.
That's where a bunch of
like-
Mormons are, so
Yeah.
that figures.
That's why I know all about it.
So you're saying there's a place that's so gross that people would rather read a copy of Catcher in the Rye than look at her tits?
I just want to put it to you this way. When you're sitting at the bar, it's kind of like a half round bar, you know, and behind the
U-shape,
bar
yeah.
behind the bartender, there's a shower. And the last time I was in there, it's you know, it's a clear glass enclosed shower. So a girl
Okay.
can get in there and do a shower while you're sitting there ordering drinks and shit, you know. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, you know, ordering drinks, and I always go with guy friends. It's not like I go by myself because I'm not into chicks. Even though I got a funny story about that.
I'm sure I did too.
Actually, that would be my number 3, the story about this chick that I had sex with last summer.
Okay, I definitely want to hear that.
We can talk about
100%
that.
For
No,
sure.
okay. So, but here's the thing. It's like, so this strip club, the Library, is so bad that we're sitting there ordering drinks, and there's this shower. Like I said, this clear glass shower behind the bartender. This chick gets in there, and she looked like she was about 4 or 5 months pregnant.
I love it.
Boy.
I
And
love
she's
it.
wearing little tiny G-string bottoms and a little string top. But her belly has popped so far that her belly button's sticking out.
Oh, no.
And she's up she's up against the glass, rubbing her fucking tummy on the glass and shit. You know? And my buddy looks at me and he's like, Angie, make her stop.
Did you
Make her stop.
did you feel like you had to pull out like Goodnight Moon and be like, I guess so?
I was like,
Really, Mark?
where is that goddamn To Kill a Mockingbird that I was reading?
I actually know that book. Oh my. Wow, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't do Vegas because I can't hang in that. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta come to Vegas with me. I promise
can't.
you. I promise you.
My idea of I just can't. Angie, I can't. I was married to a gambler too, who is actually in like the World Series of Poker once.
Oh, really? Wait
Yeah.
a second. What was his name?
Well, he got out bad. Like he got out the first day. He got
because
knocked
I
out.
dated a couple of those guys.
No, he got knocked out the first day. It's the only
okay,
time I've ever
wow.
heard him almost cry.
No, these guys are heavy hitters, but they're really old. I never fucked any of them, but they definitely tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But I
'cause
couldn't stand the thought of old balls in my mouth, so I
No.
just never even went there.
especially I mean, I like older guys. I've always liked older guys, but I have
too.
I have a cap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a cap on it. Like when
For
I was
sure.
when I was 33, I was dating a guy that was 51, and actually I had no problem dating him. He was a doctor, and it's like he spoiled the shit out of me. But the thing is when he took his shirt off, he had bigger titties than I did.
And it's all gray and stuff.
And it was flabby, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, no. I'm like, you want to pay for me to get plastic surgery? Why don't you pay for you to get plastic surgery?
He's like, hey, baby, this is what you're going to be looking at in
yeah,
a few
sorry.
years.
You gotta do me doggy style because I don't want those things hanging in my face. All right, how about that?
You're looking at a mirror, babe.
No. If I was looking at mirror, if I was looking in a mirror, my tits would be bigger.
Okay. Mark, really?
Yes. I just want to
What
chime
is
in.
what
I'm
is
trying so
wrong
hard.
with you?
Multiple things. Should I name
You're
3?
chiming-
Okay,
you're chiming in well.
She's mad.
I like it.
She's mad.
We have this thing where Angie, I kind of hate my co-host. I don't know if you.
It's because he's Mormon.
It's because
Well, that's probably number 3. Number 1 is
yeah,
that
I would say.
she's, I'm just better at it than her, and I'm just a
Oh,
co.
okay. Oh, that makes
Oh,
really
there's
that
the
makes
fuel
that
for
makes a
your
lot
fire.
of fucking sense on so many fucking levels. Let me tell you, that
know, it
makes
makes sense to me.
actually makes so little sense.
That means we should do a
That-
shot of pineapple
Yeah,
vodka.
let's-
Ready, Michelle?
all right.
1,
Let's do
2,
it.
3, shotty.
Well, I have to.
No, I just filled you up.
Oh, you did. I'm blind as a. I'm becoming my father.
It's all right.
Can't
I'm
see
blind
shit in
too.
front of
I'm
me.
glad I'm not driving tonight.
And you're building your own coffin.
Okay, my dad is building his own coffin. It's a real thing. We're gonna have a coffin. My
We
dad's
still need to do
coffin,
coffin
update.
update.
Yeah, we're working on coffin update right now.
We've been a little busy.
I have an interesting story about headstones that were done before someone died.
Oh, yeah?
Wait, kind of first, Angie, can we please go back to you having sex with a woman? I'm pretty focused on that in my head.
All right.
Because
okay, because we were texting and emailing earlier, and like I said, we can just riff and talk about anything. Like I said, it's like we can go on about anything we want. All right, so I am not into girls. All right, I've done the girl thing enough to know that I am not into chicks.
Yes.
So last summer, we went to this late night comedy show. It starts at midnight. And this is when I was still living in Las Vegas. So I went to this late night comedy show. It's called The Dirty at 12:30. It's at the South Point. And it's always a fantastic show. I mean, it seats like 200 or 300 people. And they have just that much, if not more, people show up for this damn thing. It's so popular.
Okay.
So this comic was there. And I was hitting on him. And he's like, oh, I have a girlfriend, whatever. So I met her. And she started hitting on me.
Turn of events.
Very turn of events. On top of that, I'm 36 and she's 24, so I'm like cooging out on this shit, you know.
Cooging out.
So
we should get T-shirts made that say
I know,
just cooging out.
I'm just cooging out, you know. So that was, like I said, that was at like midnight, 12:30, 1, whatever, you know. So we you know, she's hitting on me all night. She's like, I just, you know, I want to hook up with you and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what, sweetheart? I was like, it's a huge compliment. Thank you for finding me attractive, but I am not into girls.
Like, I'm
you know?
good.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have a penis. I'm not interested,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
I'm a penetration junkie, you know. So anyways, finally, like...
Wait, I want T-shirts made that say penetration junkie. Fuck the other thing. Are you okay? I love it.
Okay, so... We left there and we went to the local bar by my house and we had more drinks. We all ate like a breakfast at like 4 a.m. or some shit. So we get back to my house at like 5 or 5:30 and we're all smoking weed and we're in my bedroom. So I have like a queen size bed and I have a couch that goes across the foot of the bed. Mm-hmm. So my best friend that I consider my brother, we call each other brother and sister. He's passed out on that fucking couch.
Okay.
Anyway, so this fucking chick was just like, again, it took her basically, 5-6 hours of like harping on me how bad she wanted me. So we're sitting there smoking weed. And she's like, I just don't know why you just won't hook up with me and whatever. And I was like, all right, you want a piece of this? I was just drunk enough. I grabbed her by her throat and I threw her down on the bed and I slapped her across the face.
Whoa.
Okay, wait.
Okay, but here's the thing.
That as sex?
No.
And
It keeps,
we both had
Michelle,
cigarettes afterwards.
it keeps going from there. It keeps
Okay.
going from there.
I'm gonna write down bullet points.
I guess I should elaborate with all night. I kept telling her, I was like, look, I like things really rough. I like being choked. I like being slapped. Like that's the kind of sex I like to have. I was like, and I'm sorry, but if I'm gonna hook up with somebody, I'm gonna do the same thing right back. You know. Mm-hmm. And she was like, oh, yeah, bring it on. I was like, no, you can't handle this. You can't handle this. So again, after many, many hours of her bugging the shit out of me, I was like, all right, bitch, you want a piece of this? So again, I grabbed her by her throat, threw her down on the bed, slapped her across the face, and she goes, oh, wait a second. No. I grabbed her by the throat, threw her down, and she goes, that hurts. And I go, shut up. That's when I slapped her across the face.
There you go.
I basically violated this girl so bad. I should have grown a penis because
legally,
I treated her. I treated her.
But no, I'm cool. I'm cool with it.
Oh, no. I basically treated her like she was a piece of garbage on the street. I basically like... And again, all night long, I kept telling her, you don't want a piece of this because I'm like this, and I'm like this, and I'm like this.
Well, she did consent.
And she was consensual. She was 100% consensual, and she loved everything I fucking did to her. So after I choked her and slapped her across the face, can I really talk about this? I started fingering her. Do you really want me to get that graphic?
We are on iTunes.
Okay, yeah. If you want me to get that graphic,
they know.
I started fingering her. I broke a fingernail off inside of her. That's how bad I was going at this girl, and she loved every second of what I did to her.
Ay, caramba.
Every freaking thing,
Did you just say ay caramba?
What are you, fucking Bart? What are you, Bart Simpson?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Time out, Angie. Did you just say ay caramba?
Did I stutter?
No.
No, but I'm just making sure you said ay caramba.
You can rewind the tape.
Rewind what tape, you idiot? That's not 1990.
1990?
Okay. Anyways, I'm so sorry, Angie.
No,
You shut up.
it's
Continue,
totally
please,
fine,
with the story.
yeah.
I just want to make sure he said "I caramba."
Well, I'm just kind of embarrassed to keep telling it because it just keeps getting worse, you know.
Well,
I mean,
okay,
I just
so
basically
you broke off a nail. Let's go back.
I broke a nail off inside of her, you know, and her boyfriend was standing there and he kept trying to touch me while I was doing stuff to her. And I was like, get away from me, get away from me, get away from me. Don't touch me, don't touch me. I was like, you want to see this shit happen? I was like, I'm going to do this to your girlfriend and I'm going to show you what you should do to her. You
Right,
know?
like it's a kind of a tutorial.
Again, I'm almost 37 years old. This bitch is 12 or 13 years younger than me, you know?
I really thought, oh my god, I thought you
So,
were
like
going
I
to say 12 or
said-
13 years old. And I was like, oh, and now we got to cut the story.
Like I said, I was cooging out on these fucking kids, you know. He kept trying to touch me. So yeah, I broke a fingernail off inside of her, and I was doing all this crazy shit to her and whatever. And so finally, I mean, again, it gets. I kind of hate telling it because it gets that bad. I
Okay.
finally let him. God
If
damn it.
Bruce
You
Jenner
know what?
can talk
You
to
know
Diane
what?
Sawyer,
I'm just
we
gonna
can do
say
this.
it. I'm just gonna say it. I
right.
finally let him start fingering me, and I pulled his fingers out of me, and I shoved them in her mouth, and I said,
Wait, hold on.
"Okay,
I want to back it up. You pull out his fingers out of your vagina and put them in her mouth.
yes,
Okay, I see what you're saying. So that she can taste you.
yes."
I see. I understand.
And I told her
My best friend's a nurse.
I
was just
love
trying to
how
get it-
you just
No,
checked.
I'm literally.
She just checked something off on her fucking clipboard.
Because she was hoping you were going there.
She's like,
"Can
I
we
just
say
want to
this
make
place?"
sure. I just want to make sure that she
I'm
was
taking
tasting your
notes.
vagina. Okay, notes, check mark. I think that means we need to do another shot of pineapple vodka.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
this is. I feel.
Anyway, so
Okay.
as soon as I shoved, okay, so yeah, he had his fingers in me, and
Right.
then I shoved
so
him in her mouth.
Okay, got it.
And so I go, that's what a vagina is supposed to taste like, you dirty bitch. And then I slapped her again.
And then
And she
It was
loved
over?
it. She fucking loved it. No, it kept going on. I mean, I have this glass dildo that I got out, and I was banging her with that, and I fucking was pulling her hair, and yeah, I mean, honestly,
you're
it's
my
like,
favorite person.
Thank you. But again, it's like
I hope my
just,
best friend's listening.
Like I said, it was one of those things where it's like, you know what? It's like, I'm not into chicks, but after her like bugging the shit out of me after a few hours, I was like, all right. I was like,
It's like that scene in the Christmas, like you know,
really
the,
want
But were you trying to like kind of make her like regret asking the whole time, or were you just kind of like, okay, fine, I'll just have fun?
It's funny that you say that.
Yeah.
I think I was because I
Kinda
was,
sounds like
I
it, yeah.
kind of was like, you know what? You really want to know what it's like to be with a girl. After all night, I kept telling her, look, I understand you want to hook up with me, but I like being slapped across the face. I like it really rough. I like being
like it rough.
choked out. I like, fake rape. I mean, that's what I'm trying to tell her. I was like, you don't want to be with me. I was like, I'm really fucked up mentally, as far as sex goes. And she kept coming at me and coming at me and coming at me. I was like, so, I mean, that's why she basically egged me on
Yeah.
for like 5 or 6 hours. That's
but
why.
But again,
It was so pent up.
Yeah, it was
by
like a
the
pent-up,
time,
like-
by the time I actually said, "All right, I'm going to give you what you want, and you're going to regret it."
you laid
And
out. Here's the thing: you laid out the parameters of the situation, and she consented.
That's exactly what it was.
Right.
I mean,
That's
it
called
took-
an agreement.
Yeah, no, and it was, and it's like I said. I mean, it took her hours and hours of me sitting there going, "Hey, look, you're not going to enjoy it because I'm going to do this and this and this to
And
you." And it's not going to be pleasurable. It's going to be painful.
You probably turned it up the whole time, just like you were probably at 11 the entire time to be like,
Oh my
"I'm
God,
just
You know
gonna
what
do
I
this."
think is funny is I talked to that comic recently, and they're still together, and he was just like, honestly, what you and her did, he goes, you basically opened the doors for our sexual
Whoa,
life.
there you go then.
Oh,
And-
see, there's a,
yeah. I'm
There's a
like a
silver
fucking
lining to this
sex.
story.
I am
Lining.
like a sex therapist. They're probably going to get married. I
you were
hope to
basically
God.
the in-house Dr. Ruth.
Well, here's the other thing too. I took the course a couple years ago to be a minister, so I'm actually seriously.
How do you segue?
It's called range, baby.
How do you
It's called
segue?
range.
How the fuck do you segue from that to minister?
She's just
Well,
trying to
this is-
appeal to both of us here.
No,
See
no.
what I'm saying?
Well, I don't care about Mormons. But this is how I'm segueing right now.
You're in
but
good company.
No, but basically, it's like I heard that, like, as a comedian, a lot of people hire comedians to marry them. So
really?
it takes like seriously 2 seconds on the internet to get.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Aficionated, whatever the fuck they call
Yeah.
it. You know. And so yeah, I went on there and I So basically, yeah, if those two want to get married or whatever, I would love to marry them.
I think that would be a wonderful full circle story.
And she would probably be like the chick I was talking about that I was trying to help her change out of her wedding dress and tried to have sex with me on her wedding night.
That'd be 2 in a row.
You know what it is?
And I saw pictures of her husband's penis, and I would try to have sex with him too if I was her.
Because it was all awful and mangled and small?
It wasn't awful and mangled. It was just...
It was just small.
I always go to that. That's like my
Honestly,
go-to.
when I say pinky promise me, that goes a long way.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, you have kind of a big finger, actually. So I've seen worse.
That's what I said.
Okay, so this is quite possibly the weirdest Mad Mike podcast you've ever had, and
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Why the fuck would you apologize? And I was gonna say, and the most fun.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Well, that's what, when we were communicating earlier, I was like, we can talk about anything you like. We can talk about anything you guys you want,
Here's one thing.
Sex is a huge thing in my life, though.
Yeah.
Because I am the person that wants to be single my entire life. I never want to get married. I never want to have kids.
I used to say the same thing. Don't say that shit out loud.
No.
The opposite's going to happen.
Michelle, I'm almost
the opposite.
I'm almost 37 years old.
Who gives a shit? 37
Honestly,
is what? Nothing.
I wish I could
go
through. I wish I could have gone through menopause 3 years ago because I will never, ever, ever have kids. Nor do I want them.
I used to say the same thing, and now it's like I'm a stepmom.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
And how old is your stepchild?
I have 2. They're 6 and 8.
Oh, well, okay. That's different. My little sister has a stepchild.
But here's the thing. It's kind of the best of both worlds. Well, Mark just had a baby.
Well,
Honestly,
my wife
it really is.
Well,
it really is.
Well, your wife had the baby, you fucking idiot. Why do you have to say that? We know she had the baby. We are women, and on top of that, we went to school.
Yeah, but the fact that he's Mormon, he might have carried it.
I know. True. I think you actually told me one time that you wished you had a uterus.
That's my Twitter handle.
Hey, Mark,
I wish I had a uterus.
You said you didn't have a Twitter, you liar.
No, remember I said whenever somebody asks me if I have a Twitter, I make up a name.
Oh. Hey, if you want a uterus, please take mine.
Yeah, just cut
it
out.
Please.
Hey, Brian, can you grab a spoon?
It's not a spoon,
can
you
get
idiot.
Hey, can you get me a melon baller?
Yeah, what are those ice cream?
I got some Overdies.
You know, if you put it in the hot water first, it kind of helps.
Brian stopped listening to our podcast.
I think you did too. I think me talking about fucking the girl. And honestly, that story.
We'll bring it back to comedy. Okay, so
it gets 10 times worse.
Hold on.
So I'm glad we're done talking.
I'm gonna read some of your bio.
Okay.
Angie has been featured on the Comedy Store.
Yep.
Oh, Russell Brand. Mm-hmm. So you know Russell Brand?
No, I just performed with him one night.
You performed with him one night. Mm-hmm. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it was a few years ago. I was scheduled at the Comedy Store, and the chick that books the room, it was in the main room at the Comedy Store, and she comes in and she goes, Russell Brand is on his way down right now. And we're like, all right, cool. So everybody starts putting it out on social media, trying to get more and more people. And the main room was booked. It was booked.
Right, it usually is.
It was packed. And it was like a Tuesday or Wednesday night or some shit. So it's like, those of you that may or may not have ever been in the green room, it's like, there's like a little, like, 2-bench area type thing. And then there's a coffee table that looks like a small piano, but it's all covered in mirrors with big old scratch marks across it. So you can tell how many times people have done lines of whatever off of it.
Right.
But then there's like a little step up, and it goes into where there's a bunch of sinks and a stall for a toilet, and there's a shower and whatever else. So I know Russell Brand is all about the fact that he doesn't do drugs, and he hasn't done drugs.
Yeah, and he's sober and he's in recovery. Mm-hmm.
I just want to say bull fucking shit. All right. He walks into the green room. I was the only one there. He walks up to me, and he goes, hey, he's like,
in his British accent, right?
Yeah, with his British accent. He's like, hey, he's like, what's going on? I was like, nothing. He's like, what's going on up there? I was like, nothing. I was like, it's there's a toilet and a shower and sinks and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, okay. He's like, I'll be up there, I'm sorry. I'm shitty at accents.
I was going to say, Andrew, you have a shitty British accent.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give that room a go. Whatever the
I'll
fuck
give that
he
room
said.
a go.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
So he
transported.
goes up there and he closes the fucking doors. So a couple minutes later, everybody filters in. They're like, was Russell Brand in here? I said, yeah, he was, you know. I think he was asking me about the show or something, but honestly, he was such a minor piece of shit in my existence that I don't remember very much from it. But, okay, so anyways, everybody fucking filtered in and they were just like, Russell Brand come through here? I was like, yeah, he's up there, blah, blah, blah. And you know how it is. It's like, when a celebrity is in a room and they have the doors closed, don't fuck with them.
Yeah.
You know? So being backstage there, the only bathroom that you could use, you had to go out around the corner, walk back in the club, and use the public bathrooms. And people were getting pissed off about that. And I was like, don't get pissed off about that because, hello, a celebrity is sitting in there. So his fucking, his personal assistant came in. And he had one of those, it looks like a pencil bag, you know, that, you put in your trapper keeper type thing.
Right.
He's like, did Russell come in here? I said, yeah, he's right over there, you know. He's like, oh, okay. So he like knocks on the door and opens it and Russell takes it, whatever. I'm sorry. This guy says he's drug and alcohol free. He brings in this pencil bag.
I love the pencil. I used to have so many pencil cases. I was obsessed with them. Anyways.
I'm sorry, but, you know, yeah.
Right, like we're not idiots.
It looked like a bunch of pencils in there.
Yeah, he's just carrying around a bunch of pencils.
But when seriously, Michelle, when he decided to come out of the fucking area that he was in, his eyes were so big, he was sweating so bad, he was bloodshot, and he was like, I was like, oh yeah, you're sober. You're sober. Go get it, man. Go get it, Tiger.
He could have been just coloring in the bathroom.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, he might have just used all the syringes for his paint by
Could have been
number.
insulin. Who knows?
Yeah. So anyways, yeah. So it was cool. And, you know, the funny thing, too, is like I had my ex-boyfriend with me. And he kept knocking on the door trying to go in there to go pee. I go, what the fuck are you doing, man? And he was like, oh, well, I need to go pee. I go, no, you got to go walk outside and walk around and get in through the other door. And he goes, well, yeah, but we're in the green room. Can't we use there? And I go, honey, how fucking stupid are you? I mean, this is somebody that's plugging me all the time. You know, right. I was like, how are you that fucking stupid that you're trying to get into where the pisser is when a celebrity is in there trying to work on his set? I mean, when Russell came out, he had a stack of notes and he was on stage for an hour. So, I mean, it's like he may or may not have been doing drugs, but you can tell that he was in there working on his jokes.
Actually doing his stuff, yeah.
Sure.
Actually working on his jokes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was dating a stupid fucking asshole that was like, well, I'm trying to get in there and go pee. It's like, then walk the fuck outside and go piss on the sidewalk, you stupid shit, you know?
Right. Like, I actually totally dig Russell Brand. I
would fuck his face in a hot minute.
The hair's a little too much.
Yeah.
I could deal with if you got a haircut, it'd be great.
That's
all I'm saying.
I would lift it off his head.
Just the toupee.
Only
it is a toupee.
Only if he's going down on me, though.
Fucking Russell Brand with his stupid hair. I love him to death, though. But just get a haircut, please. He's to the point. I feel like he needs a
you think that was the reason
cut.
And on top of that,
split from him and what's her name, Zoe? Was it
Deschanel?
No. You are so off
base. No, it was
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry,
Katy
right?
Perry, you fucker. Not all brunettes look the same.
To be honest, they both look the same.
Yeah,
they're confusing.
You know what, Michelle?
Thank you,
something
Brian.
I was wondering because I dye my hair black and Katy Perry dyes her hair black.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So when you got blonde hair, call it blonde. We got brown hair, call it brunette. But when we have black hair, they still call us a brunette. No, what am I supposed to be called? A blackhead?
Point.
Like,
that's an excellent point.
You're called African American.
I've heard Raven and Ebony.
Well, that explains the size of my huge dick.
Oh my God. Listen to me, Angie. I've had the same best friend for like 12, 13 years. And I'm thinking about switching teams.
You're thinking about what? I'm sorry.
I've had the same best friend for 12 or 13 years. Her name's Kate. And, I guess I've just never met you until now. And now I feel like my relationship with my best friend is kind of compromised. Like, I kind of feel like I've been in a 40-year marriage, but then, I came out of the closet and realized I was in love with a man. So, and I feel like that now. Kate, don't worry. It's okay. We're still together.
Kate, I don't know you, but I love you. And I promise I'm not taking Michelle away from you.
But she's pretty close, though. Because
We should hang out, though.
oh no, we're gonna
don't live
get
that
we're gonna
fucking far
get
away from
drinks
each other.
and shit
Yeah.
and all that. I can't. Because I love you so much.
Well, speaking of which, do you have any upcoming shows?
Oh yeah, we have to wrap it up because
Well,
Really?
Well, I mean, we don't have to. We can do whatever the fuck
I was
we
gonna
want.
say. I mean, I could be here all fucking night. I love
Right.
radio. I love
For sure.
radio.
Well, I just
If you see on my resume, I had.
Oh
my
yeah,
own,
wait.
I had my
Yes.
own radio show for a while.
I
and it
just
was
want to read.
called. Oh,
I
go
just
ahead.
want
Go
to read
ahead.
some resume stuff. You have performed at some very impressive places. I'm just gonna list a lot of them. First of all, you performed at the Miss American pageant 2011.
Oh my God! Yes, I did. I was on the Miss America pageant.
Can you even explain that to us?
Yeah. You know how like when they get down to like the last 5 contestants and they ask them each a question and they have to answer it heartfully or whatever.
Right.
So I was one of the people that got casted to ask one of the questions.
Oh, right.
So they made it look like I was a tourist, who especially loved the fact that I was from Pine Top, Arizona, like butt fuck nowhere, you know.
Right.
They love that. So yeah, I was one of the people that got to ask. I think it was Miss Washington. I got to ask her, and hang on, give me a second. I think I'm the rival. Well, what was the question I asked her? The rivals between political parties has gotten kind of ugly. And something about how Miss America has rivalry too. How do you promote a healthy competition? It was something like that, you know? Anyways, but yeah, that was my Miss America thing, you know? And I have people come up to me and they're like, oh, you were on Miss America? I'm like, yeah, look at my fat ass. You want to see me in a bikini? You want to see me in a bikini? You'll pay me to put my clothes back on. How about that? Yeah.
Okay. That was not the answer I was expecting, and I loved it. Okay, so the Comedy Store Flappers, John Lovett's Comedy Club, House of Blues, the Ice House, which is like LA's oldest comedy club,
Yep.
the Blue Martini in Vegas. Like, you have literally you've done shows everywhere.
I'm just trying to leave a snail trail everywhere I go.
Yeah, just like leave us. I mean,
like it.
you have Bally's in Vegas, Rio Hotel, like all over Vegas. You were literally like the Vegas / LA, actually really LA Vegas / Vegas comedian. Like, this is crazy. You are all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to blow up wherever I can. I mean, honestly, it's like I hate to toot my own horn, but women aren't funny, and I am. So
Yeah, for the most part, I
there
would
you
agree
go.
with you. It's really
honestly,
hard.
It's like I have a few female friends that are comedians, and they are funny. But I have other female friends that are comedians, and they are not, you know? And I try to help them out. I'm like, you know, it's like, nobody wants to hear about your fucking kids, you know? Nobody wants to hear about your fucking courting of your dating and your marriage. People want to hear about your dirty, slutty shit.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
I mean, I guess you're performing for a fucking retirement home or something. People want to hear all that bullshit, you know? Like, and also, I talk to these bookers. I have bookers that are like, Angie, you're my number one girl. I book you all the time, you know, and they do. But they tell me about other females, and I'm not going to say their names, but they're like, Angie, they go, some of these girls get up and they do so horrible on stage that they get off stage and they cry about how horrible they did. I'm like, I'm
That's
sorry.
totally true, Mark.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they're female or male. If
Yeah.
you're crying when you get off stage, you should not be.
should
You're
not
doing
be
something
comedy.
wrong,
You
right?
should not
No.
be a comedian.
No, if you had a bad show or you had a bad set, whatever, if you get off stage, you should like punch your own steering wheel or like do a shot of tequila and then like seriously man up.
Well, since I'm not saying this one particular girl's name, she should punch herself in the vagina so that she can never have children because she should not reproduce.
Is it Isla Scherschlinger?
No.
Oh, oops.
Well, then, Angie,
When the show is done, I'll tell you who it is.
okay.
Okay.
Well, what's
Just describe her to a T, please.
She's got hair.
Well, I mean, basically, from what I've heard, she is to LA what I am to Vegas, like Queen Bee kind of thing. And I've met her a few times, and we've performed together, and I've watched her.
Don't
and
say
honestly,
Ellen DeGeneres' name.
no, it's not Ellen.
Okay, don't say Ellen DeGeneres on the show unless it's really in good
love-
light.
Honestly, I really
I was
love
just
Ellen.
I love Ellen too. I love Ellen
We
too,
all
and I
love
feel
Ellen.
like she controls a lot of things that happen
I love
here. So
Ellen,
let's
don't
just,
worry.
you know what I'm
And
saying?
you know
I
what?
love her.
I think she took the reins after Dick Clark died because I have a bunch of stories about how Dick Clark ran a lot of people's careers.
I totally agree with
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Actually, she is kind of she is like the Dick
Oh,
Clark.
yeah, she is like.
I
the
totally
new
agree with that.
Dick Clark of entertainment.
Yeah.
Not even comedy, just
Yeah.
entertainment.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Actually, I have a story. I can't remember who told me this, but they said that they booked Andrew Dice Clay back in the 80s.
Oh
when
God,
he
Andrew
was-
Dice Clay. I love
Okay,
him.
but here's the thing. This was back when he was still really huge and telling all these, duck, duck, goose, and what all the shit
Duck,
that
duck,
he
goose,
told.
suck my dick.
Yeah, shit
Yeah.
like that. We know what Andrew Dice Clay is material is about. But so he got booked for something. It was a huge I don't know if it was Madison Square Garden, but it was something like that. And Dick Clark came up to him. There was a bunch of kids and their parents there. And he goes, look, I know you do what you do. He goes, but could you kind of tone it down? He goes, there's a bunch of 12-year-olds here with their parents. First off, who the fuck is going to book Andrew Dice Clay for something where
Right, why would
12-year-olds and their parents are at?
Yeah.
Secondly,
ridiculous.
if you are booking him, then you want to hear what he does.
I
you
want to
know?
hear duck, duck, goose, suck my
duck,
dick.
duck, fuck your face.
Yeah,
type
duck, duck,
stuff.
fucking yeah. Cum shots.
Exactly, crumb shots. Anyway, so Dick Clark, I guess, came up to him and was like, hey, could you kind of this and this? And Andrew Dice Clay was like, yeah, sure, I promise, blah, blah, blah. So when Andrew Dice Clay finally got on stage, he did not change one thing. And he got out there
Perfect, I love
being
it.
his normal, raw,
Good for him.
dirty self. But from there, I wish I could remember who told me this story. It just happened like a month ago. Somebody, and my life is so crazy. I can't even remember who told me this. But they said from there, it pissed Dick Clark off so much that, how Andrew Dice Clay was kind of really high up here.
He was top dog.
And out of nowhere, he just kind of fell off the
Yeah.
board.
He was banned from shows and
That was because of Dick Clark.
fucking Dick Clark.
Don't mess with them.
He is a
started
dick.
he started calling venues.
Had
and
him
he started
blacklisted.
so people, he basically got him blacklisted all over the country. Venues started,
I never knew that.
venues, I guess, from there started bumping him and I mean, just all sorts of stuff. But they, like I said, I wish I fucking remember who told me that. I would totally call them out. We could call them on my phone right now.
Call them, do a Skype.
I can't remember who it was, but again, it's like that person really,
I believe it. I 100% believe
you hear
it.
how people can make or break your
Yeah.
career. Well, he definitely broke his career.
That's why we will never say a bad word about Ellen DeGeneres on
I
the
like
show.
Ellen.
I actually watched an old episode of Ellen, the sitcom, today.
I love
She
Ellen.
went to.
that's
She
right.
went to.
Hey, you know-
I found one on TV. I swear to God, it was the episode where she went to this movie premiere and they snuck their way into the show, and she was really nervous about it. And then her friend Paige sold a movie idea to a guy at Paramount about Keanu Reeves being a waiter in the movie. It was a Keanu Reeves waiter movie pitch idea. I swear to God, I'm not making any of this up. I saw it at
And
4 o'clock today.
hilarious hijinks ensued.
Okay, Angie, we have to wrap it up.
Dude, I would totally hook up with Ellen. I would break a fingernail off inside
You would
of
break
her
a fingernail
So,
off
any
Ellen?
day of the week.
Ellen, if you're listening, I bet you were
DeGeneres,
excited by that story earlier.
If you ever
Ellen,
get,
if you're
Give us a
listening, I got a French tip with your name on it.
of course, if you're legally separated from Portia,
Or not.
I can't say her name, or not, whatever, it doesn't matter. We're no judgment here on
And
Mad
even
Mike.
if you're not, monogamy exists because you want to, not because you have to. And you know what? You can separate me and my fingernail anytime you want.
Ellen,
You guys are all like,
EllenTV.com, I think, is where you can send in our.
I've actually
viewer.
sent Ellen pictures of animals. My dogs, my sister's dogs.
So if Ellen wanted to get in touch with
I
you,
thought you were going to say something else. I'm so
I
relieved.
sent Ellen pictures of my vagina and my fingernails and said, hey, put it together.
Put
Let's
it
make
together.
this happen.
Let's
So-
figure it out.
Let's
so
make this
Angie-
happen.
if Ellen or anybody else wanted to get in touch with you, how would they do that?
Oh yeah,
What's your
let's,
Twitter? What's your
let's
Facebook?
plug. Let's plug everything.
They just need to put their thumb in the air and stick it in my ass. That's how you
it.
get hold of me.
It's like
I
Thor's
swear,
hammer.
You put your thumb up like you're gonna hitchhike, and I show up
And
out of
you just-
nowhere. I'm like the goddamn magic genie.
Yeah.
Or like a Tinkerbell of pussy. Okay, so
I'm the
Twitter.
Tinkerbell of buttholes.
The Tinkerbell of buttholes. That's the most poetic thing I've ever heard.
Hashtag.
Hashtag.
No,
Tinkerbell.
okay.
So
okay, find
Okay.
me Angie Crum, Krum is my last name. You can find me by that way on Facebook. You can go to angiecrum.com. That's my website. There's a lot of stuff on the website, but my schedule is not updated. My videos are not updated. I was telling you, Michelle, I took almost all my videos off of
because you want to
YouTube
be you want to
recently.
be a cleaner comic.
Well, on top of that, like I've been. Well, no. Here's the thing. I mean, honestly,
She said that, Mark. Fuck you.
no, Mark.
I know,
you
it's just funny.
Mark, you have to understand, honestly, and this would honestly, you should please have me back within the next month so we can
sure.
talk
Yes.
about stuff like that. I keep getting burps from that fucking vodka. But seriously, it's like I've been trying to work cleaner because everybody's like, oh well, you want to get booked for this, you want to get booked for, you want to do this, you want to do that, you gotta, and the fucked up thing is like a man can tell the same type of dirty stuff.
Oh, I know. Don't get me started. I hate it.
And they get booked.
Oh, for her.
But
sure.
when they watch my demo and I'm talking about the same kind of stuff, they go, oh, you're too dirty. Blacklist.
Carrot Top
Blacklist.
can sit up there talking about fucking dolls and literally have like little baby dolls that he wants to fuck
And get
and
up
stick
there
his penis
and
in,
talk about how he's a pedophile.
Yeah, and he does a residency in Vegas. So trust me, I'm 100% on the same page.
Yeah, so if you want to, have me back soon and we'll totally.
Yes, I'm actually going to
Cover that.
replace Mark with you. So okay, so let's plug some new shows, upcoming shows.
I like it. All right. So I'm getting ready to go to Vegas. When I come back on the 29th, I think it's a Thursday, I'm going to be at the Comedy Store. It's called the C Word Show.
I love it.
And I think it starts at 8 o'clock. This is how terrible I am. I think it starts at 8 o'clock.
We'll have links on the website.
I think it costs $5 to get it. It's in the belly room.
$5, guys. Comedy Store belly room.
I will knock your socks off. And if you're really good, I will break a fingernail off inside
if you're
of
really
you.
good, she will
Right.
break a fingernail
She goes to a lot of
inside your
fingernails, you
bodies.
Come here, Mark.
Come here.
And I'm going to cry after this show.
And so we'll have links up, guys. But hey,
And
Brian,
after that, everything else is like
We'll have
way
links.
far out of town. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna be doing Mesquite, Nevada, and then I'm
Oh,
doing
yeah.
more shit in Vegas. I got stuff coming up in Colorado and Washington and Idaho.
do you have
and
anything in
blah,
Utah?
blah.
Because we have a big fan base there.
We do.
His name's Jonathan.
You know what? I would totally sit on that guy's face
We love
and
Jonathan.
tell
He's our number one
comedy.
fan.
I would tell comedy the entire time, and you know what? I will suffocate him to death.
All for you, Jonathan.
Jonathan, if you are listening, that's a official.
He's our fan.
romantic invitation.
Is he single?
Maybe.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
I
well,
think so. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said I don't think so.
All right, Jonathan, I don't know who you are. I don't even know if you're single. I don't even know if you're hot. You're probably not.
No, he is.
But-
I think he's
He's a good-looking
hot.
dude.
He's a good-looking guy.
But I will sit on your face and suffocate you
Jonathan,
until you actually start moving your fucking mouth around, and then I'll let you breathe.
okay.
Sorry, I'm
No, you
I'm
would
abrasive.
I think
you would
you've
never
made-
offend me ever.
You've made his
I
day.
unless
love
you
you.
talked
I
about my
love
mom.
you.
You would have to talk. I love you. You would have to talk about my mom, and I don't joke about money because there's nothing to joke about. It's all just text, book stuff. I love you, Angie.
I love the pause between. It's just text
Okay.
book. stuff.
Okay. Hey Brian,
The
can you?
pausing. The pausing?
Oh, there we go. He's slow with the music sometimes at the end. I don't know why. He's good with everything else.
You get mad at me when I faded in
We
too
can
early.
seriously do this all freaking night.
We
I
can
am
do this all
having
night.
so much fun with you guys.
Well, we're glad that you came.
Angie,
Glad
we're
you
gonna
on
come
the
back.
show.
Like I said, I'm gonna fire Mark
Yeah.
as soon as we're done
Well,
with
yeah,
this. and
I'm
make
glad
you
that
cut.
I
all
came
good.
too, and I'm getting ready to do it again in about 5 minutes.
You know what I'm
you
saying?
go.
Fingernails for everyone. You guys, this has been Mad Mike Podcast with my very, very, very special, intimate guest, Angie Crum.
Thank you so much for
Please,
having me. I appreciate it in more ways than you would ever imagine. Especially the fact that you're a Mormon. You don't have an imagination.
Oh, no,
I
or I have
literally
the best
love her.
imagination in the world.
MadMikePodcast.com, you guys. We're going to have all of Angie's upcoming shows and her social media up there. Please check us out. Thank you, Brian, my engineer. And thank you, Mark Day, for absolutely nothing, as usual, my co-host. Okay, this has been Mad Mike Podcast. Thanks, guys.
Woo!